Stan, and welcome to the full compilation of all the West Coast Custom footage all wrapped into one. This is the entire build. This video is going to be labeled The Build, which includes all the spray booth work. This is going to be kind of a long video, so let's get into it and let's go see what it took to get those spray booths and those prep stations and the entire system installed. So they've just got curtains in front of us for now. So this is where we're going to be working back here. And it looks like we're working behind closed doors. So they've got a fake spray booth on that curtain out in front. And this is my work area, and it's a little polluted. But I think we can work back here. The lighting's not great. They got their LEDs out in the main shop, which are very intense. Those are the 4-foot 4-tube LEDs. And this is my work area. High pressure sodium, yuck. Those nasty orange lights. And those are coming out after all this equipment's in. My first piece of equipment goes right here, up to that curtain. See, there's a fake spray booth curtain, and there's another fake spray booth with a curtain. Mixing room, fake car, fake prep. Okay, we're back, and our first day was clean and prep, and you saw our arrival and the mess we had to deal with. So our first day was just kind of clean up, and then call in some rentals. And this company right here, veteran-owned company, and nice people to deal with, very nice equipment, and I haven't made the complete switch over. I'm an Ahern customer, but Vet Rents has been pretty good to me so far. So that's a shout out to the nice people over at Vet Rents. Next up, we started moving in. We pre-assembled some of the smaller equipment out in the parking lot and rolled it in one piece. Look at that. Got some crates and got them up on big dollies and rolled them in like that. So let's take a look at that. Next up, customer took delivery on this stuff, put it out in the parking lot, and didn't protect it from rain. We had a rainstorm, so we were worried about wet crates and electronics. So we started rifling through all these things and started getting the electronics inside the building. So, and here's some of that unpacking and some of the crate damage, water damage that we found.
Here's a look at some of the boxes and some of the water. That dark box there is just soaked. I think it's just filters, no big deal. Some of these boxes got really wet. That one's really dark. I don't know what's in there. Light fixtures over here got really wet. Light fixtures are probably no big deal. We open them up and let them dry out. I don't have room to open all this stuff up to let it not get mildewed, but I just don't have the space to let these crates explode, so I just got to get to it when I get to it. I got the control panels, and I think I've got all the electronics inside. Out of the weather, so I'm hoping I got everything sensitive inside, and we'll get it opened up and get a look at it. All right, here's the crates of things that are going into this place. We got a large side downdraft. We got a quad draft. I got to get through all these skids and figure out what's what and what's going in first and what's going in last and what's going in second. All these skids are me, all the way down to there. And they definitely kill a few trees doing this. But the crates arrived in good condition. I don't see any damage or any crushing or anything like that, so I think we're in pretty good shape on all these. Duck packages, side downdraft. And there's all our crates there. So we've got a little bit of equipment to install. Well, crates, and more crates. But look there, we made a hole. I made myself a parking spot. Then it goes back to crates, and more crates. Okay, and this is the remote panel for this unit. This is the big Siemens color touchscreen. And when this is fired up, this will actually have a picture of the spray booth, and you just touch. If you touch a picture of the lights will come on. If you touch a picture of a burner, the burner will fire. If you touch the fans will come on. So it's actually a really cool remote panel. And this is just the touchscreen panel. This is not a there's no controls in there per se. It's just the electronics and comm and data cabling over to the main control cabinet. So this is just operator control. There's another cabinet with all the starters and VFDs and all that stuff. All right, but I thought I'd show you that before I wrap it up.
And by the time all this has happened, we're already on our third day. So finally on the third day, we actually started doing something, building something. So let's go take a look at third and fourth day.
As a follow-up to my laser the other day, you see my corner mark there, and we hit it with the unit. We can walk over to this side and see the corner mark over here, and you can see the chalk mark on the floor. So, reasonably accurate. Everything's plus or minus probably 1/8 of an inch on this entire unit.
And during all that time, I got to play with the time lapse on my GoPro. Now, anyone that has a GoPro can attest to the fact that the battery is pretty weak, and she'll burn down in about 4 or 5 hours. Forget using the Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi just chews through a battery like nobody's business. But if you just set it on time lapse and no Wi-Fi, she'll run 6.5 hours doing time lapse. So let's go have a look at a time lapse of assembling a spray wheel. Back, which brings us to our 5th day, and this is where we start detailing the booth, hanging doors, pinning it down to the floor, and doing some various things. Now, these doors use a Premco walk-in refrigerator type door hinge and door hardware, and the weld plates inside of the doors are 1/4-inch plates, and they have to be drilled and tapped. And what the company supplies is self-tapping screws. Not self-drilling, but self-tapping. You have to drill pilot holes and then tap them in. And I always dread doing this because the screws break. So, and snapping screws off left and right and drilling out broken bolts out of the doors is very common. But our old front anchor loop came to the rescue, and the whole thing went without incident. Take a look at this. So those were doors prepped, and every single screw went in without any trouble, and no oily mess when I was done. I just put just literally the smallest amount I could in each hole, just one drop, and then ran those self-threading screws in, and they worked really good. Let's take a look at the doors now that they're hung.
And it's another beautiful day at West Coast Customs. It is Friday, thank goodness. And there's the Bar Z trailer tucked in neatly behind all that other stuff, actually getting buried. And there's a car with a paint job. Oh. Bentley, Aventador, proper paint job, Aventador, Aventador, 3 of them in a row. It's their catwalk. Kind of cool for tours and people looking. There's a booth we've already put in. And here's the one we're working on now. It's up on a fully graded floor. Filters underneath. Diamond plate center section. We've got the walls standing. And we're going to work on some of the door headers, and we have to dig out some other parts out of the parking lot here this morning. Okay, we got the doors hung on the little one.
Are you guys
And
off early for this?
It looks like we're gonna be off early.
Are you recording?
I am.
Can I photobomb you?
Photobomb me, you just did.
Did I?
And they couldn't even wait. They had to stick a car in there while I was working. Nothing like being under a little bit of pressure. Thanks for that. Little red vet in here. So that was cute. And my guys have already been told that that car is worth more than their life and they need to stay the hell away from it. But pretty nice little Corvette. Oh yeah, the last thing I need is one of the guys to drop a screw in the middle of the hood or something like that. Kind of a cool interior. And some electronics, paddle shifter, which is kind of neat. And stereo setup. The light back here doesn't do it justice, but yeah, so there's a Corvette in my freshly assembled spray booth. It's not even done yet. Grinding on a 911. We can do a walk through here. Welcome to my office. This is the quietest place in here. So this is where we're stashing filters and light fixtures and more light fixtures. And we finished the paint mix room. Little diamond plate step down there. Entry tunnel into the booth. And you're inside the mix room, the paint mixing room right now. And this has another tunnel that goes into the larger spray booth. Oh, it's pretty dark in here. But this is their van booth or their truck booth for painting big vehicles. And they've just been using it for storage while I've been working, so that's nice. Got a big Kaiser air compressor tank there. So we got some progress. The boys are working on, outside they're working on a prep deck, or a triple prep deck. There's 3 prep stations there. And that's getting tied in. They're putting an angle up against the quad draft. And that's getting tied into there. And this has an overhead plenum that actually gets suspended from the ceiling. And those large dampers up there get switched over, and there's a blower section, a collector section, and a pre-filter section of each one of those. And that damper up there gets switched back and forth between spray and sand. So they can sand and it'll recirculate, or they can spray and it sends it out through the roof of the building. So the roof openings are all prepped. And here I'll show you a filter section. These use a sock type filter. That's kind of a vertical sock bag, and the blower section is right above us. see up there. Yeah, you can see the blower section up there above that screen. So and these have rectangular openings in this plate, and when the fan starts, those bags just kind of balloon up and catch all the crap that from sanding, and then every time they shut down, they kind of shake loose and everything falls down through the opening and just lands on the floor, and they end up with a pile of trash inside that plenum. And then they've got a small pre-filter out here, just a 20 by 20 by 2 pre-filter, just to knock the big chunks out. And then the second layer is that filter in that box. But it's going to be coming out 27 feet out to where they can prep cars in here, and they'll be divided by curtain walls. So I'll keep you updated on the prep deck. So these are prep decks. That's half of one. There's half of one. That's an entire one that's done. It still gets, basically a prep deck is a spray booth with no wall. These all get suspended with all thread from the ceiling. That's 1/2 inch threaded rod up to the purlins of the building. And they're through bolted, not just lag bolted. They are through bolted through the beams. But each plenum gets curtain walls around it, like a rolling curtain to isolate each area. And this is enough room for 3 cars. And over there you can see the top of the quad, and all way over on the side you'll see the side downdraft way over there. And here I'll show you the skyline this morning around beautiful downtown Burbank. I'm on the roof of West Coast Customs. That's the start of the San Gabriel Mountains right there. You're gonna get a solar flare going right in the sun. And out behind those clouds over there, that is the Hollywood Hills. My task at hand is all these roof flashings are laid out where they're gonna land. We gotta cut them in. This is a 1-inch foam core roof, and we're having the roofer come right behind us and land all these roof flashings. Every one of these roof flashings has been spotted, and you can see in that red X there's a little screw sticking up there from underneath, so we can lay out our roof flashings correctly and we don't have to cut them from underneath, which is a messy process. From down below we used a laser off of the blower shaft, shot a laser beam up to the roof, a laser plumb, drove a screw in through the roof, that spots our roof jack. The roof jacks are going below the foam and getting sprayed in with a 2-component urethane foam sealer for this funky looking roof. And it's a very fragile roof. And here you can see we've got all our ductwork laid out on cardboard so we don't damage said foam fragile roof. And yeah, there's our layout. Well, we've got all the roof penetrations done, and the roofer's coming today. See, we had to cut out the foam to get the roof flashings down tight on against the sheeting, and the roofer's coming today to spray in new foam. But that's 12 roof openings completed. That is a pre-filtered chamber, same duct arrangement. There's 3 more there out on the prep decks. These are the exhausts for the quad. And that's all we got left to put back on there. There's just a few top canopies and rain collars to go up on top. So after the roofer gets done, we can finish detailing this and terminate all these ducts. And welcome back. So that I told you that was a pretty long video and pretty long installation there, and I'm sorry if it drug out. But stay tuned for the next one, and the next one's going to be the reveal. And we got that booth done on the 25th hour, ready for their big reveal. They had a big show on Saturday. So go check out the next video, which is entitled West Coast Customs, The Reveal. All right, thanks for watching.